So I was reading a very detailed and very interesting article on Project Scorpio, which is the new iteration of the Xbox One. By the way, it's not going to be a completely different variation, or it's not going to be a completely new console. It's just going to be a way more powerful Xbox One. So if you think that it's going to be doing anything new or impressive, it won't. It's just going to be one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful consoles we've ever seen. And I'm calling it right now without even saying anything else. I'm going to say that there is some very suspicious things about the console and about what Microsoft is doing with the console that really makes me pause and question, will this console be a success? And for starters, the first thing is that Forbes, again, the article that I was reading, they said that they reported that they thought that the console would cost about $500. Which I think is ludicrous. I think that is a fallacy in and of itself. If it costs $500, the console, expect things that are, and I'm going to refer to it as Switch-like, as the Nintendo Switch. Even though it's a great console, it has some very obvious flaws. For instance, it has the dock. There's scratching on the screen whenever you put in the actual tablet into the dock incorrectly. And then on top of that, if you leave the dock or the console, the tablet, in the dock for too long, the Switch becomes warped. So even though Nintendo has done a lot of PR with these situations, these individual situations, it's that to make the Switch affordable and competitively affordable, they've had to cut some costs, specifically with the Joy-Cons and the dock itself. Expect things like that in Project Scorpio if it costs $500, because there's no way that you could have a console that runs 4K graphics by itself without it being expensive, without having some expensive internal hardware. And the external hardware, the case in and of itself, that may be very cheap. The controllers, you may not necessarily get a controller with the new Project Scorpio. Or to cut even more costs, they're obviously not going to bundle this with the Kinect if they are going to make it cost $500. But if they do bundle it with the Kinect, you may not get a controller, or the case itself won't be very good, or maybe the disk drive won't be very good, or there's a lot of different ways that they could cut costs. It's kind of just like, okay, which one will really impede the console's lifespan the most, and then they can kind of make decisions off of that. I think that the cost will be somewhere around $700 to $800. That's just my opinion on it, because if they don't cut costs, they're going to create a crappy console in some areas. They're going to have to compromise. And I think that as a consumer, it'll piss you off. If they don't cut costs, and if they just give you the full-on Microsoft Xbox experience, then it will be a $700 to $800 console. And at that point, the question arises, why wouldn't you get a PC? Because I know what you're going to say if you love Xbox, if you love Microsoft. Well, it's for the exclusives, so that way I can play Gears of War and Halo. Well, those exclusives are a fallacy in and of itself, because you can buy these exclusives on PC. These aren't exclusives in the sense that they will only be available on console, on Xbox One, like for instance Persona 5 is available on PlayStation 4, and how Horizon Zero Dawn is available for PlayStation 4, and how Neo is also available for PlayStation 4. Those games are exclusively on PlayStation. They aren't on PC. The same thing goes, there's a vice versa with Xbox, in the sense that PC consumers can buy the exclusives. So it's like, well, why would I pay $700 to $800 for a Xbox One, or an upgraded Xbox One, when I can just buy and build a custom PC for around that same price range and be economically more efficient, because you can get excuse me, you can get better parts for cheaper when you're building a PC over a console that comes pre-packaged, pre-made, factory-built, straight out of China. I feel like the cost is going to be a reason why you don't buy the console, but this is something that's going to really make or break the console. How many or how little exclusive the console has. Right now, it's not going very good. The cancellation of Scalebound, for one, is just inaffordable. That game looked so interesting when you look at it from a distance. As a PlayStation owner, I wanted to play that game. I really did want to play Scalebound, but the problem is they canceled it. So now, nobody gets to play the game. And I think that's a huge problem because right now,
Microsoft,
like, you know what? We have really Halo and Gears of War, and that's kind of it. Sony is like, you know what exclusives we have? You know what games we've had over the past almost 30 years of existence? We have Parappa Rapper, which we're going to bring in on the PS4. We have the Jack and Dexter collection, which is going to be released on PS4 later this year. We have we have new IPs like Horizon Zero Dawn and Gravity Rush 2 that are going to be released to pretty great reviews, by the way. We also have a Game of the Year contender in Persona 5. We also have an extension of the God of War series and God of War 4 being released later on this year. We also have another extension in a great series that was released, I think, in like 2013 in Ni no Kuni, and it's just like on and on and on and on and on. You can list a bunch of PlayStation and Sony exclusives, and then you have Nintendo bringing out the big guns with Zelda Breath of the Wild, and they just, like, Nintendo literally is doing this. Nintendo does not care. They have a line of games that are going to be made in the next couple of years that are only going to be exclusives that you've seen time and time again, like Mario. Mario Odyssey seems great. Mario Kart 8. You have Zelda being great. You have Super Smash Bros. That's probably going to be released very, very soon, maybe next year or the year after that. You have Nintendo being set for the next couple of years. Microsoft does not have anything in the next couple of years. You can fight me all you want. You can say, you know what, they have Halo. They have Gears of War. No, they don't. They have to solely rely on these IPs. And Bungie, by the way, is not creating these Halo games anymore. They are complete. If you're going to argue that they're going to have Halo games, at least that they have Halo, at least give me that argument of, okay, Bungie isn't producing it. The last couple of Halo games, Halo Wars and Halo 4, have not been great. We can agree on that. What's the incentive to get Project Scorpio? Because I don't think that there really is any incentive for you, at least as the consumer, to get a new Project Scorpio. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. Give me a couple of days to come out with another video. I've been really trying to research some new and interesting video ideas for you as the viewer, so that way you won't be bored out of your mind. Let me know if you like this conversation type of argumentation that I've been trying to do for the past couple of days. I kind of like it because I get to share a lot of my thoughts and my arguments with some of the things that are going on in the industry. Plus, it's not necessarily me. Plus, it's me getting away from Persona 5, which, when you think about it, I've been playing way too much Persona 5 in the last couple of, in actually the past two weeks, excuse me, which I find is just both exhilarating and fun, but also it's just like, when you sit and you've played the game for like 12 hours, borderline straight, and you're kind of like looking at your watch and you're just like, I did nothing today besides play Persona 5. It's like, I had a lot of fun, but I may want to try and get something done, or I may try and, you know, want to do something else in a little while, so that way I don't so that way my life isn't consumed with this game fully. But have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time.